Hey everybody, welcome to day 2 of the Motherhood Simplified Challenge. So yesterday we talked about everything time, what you're consuming, what is consuming you, what you can let go of, and how you're going to let go of it. And today I want to talk to you about sense of urgency, okay? A sense of urgency versus a sense of importance. And I have a podcast episode on this, but because you're in the challenge, I want to talk to you about it in a little bit more in depth. So another way to word this or phrase this idea of urgency versus importance and where you're spending your time is being stuck in survival mode or being in thriving mode. Okay, so when we are stuck in survival mode, we are living in a constant state of urgency. We are living in a constant state of putting out fires, of feeling frantic and behind and overwhelmed, and like everything is a problem, right? And it makes it really, really hard to focus on things that are important. It makes it really hard to slow down. It makes it really hard to relax. It makes it really hard to problem solve and find solutions, which I think is one of the biggest skill sets as a mother that you can have is problem solving and slowing down a little bit and seeing things for what they are and taking ownership of what you can and letting go of the rest. Okay, so don't take this example personally, okay? It's one that I have dealt with. It's one that you guys deal with a lot. When you are living in a state of urgency, you are constantly feeling things like anxiety, overwhelm, a lot of stress. And the way that that manifests is in things like having kids who are very high strung. You're very high strung, right? You're very high strung and stressed out, and your kids feed off of your energy. So by default, they become high strung and stressed out, and you're not able to keep up on housework and chores and dishes and everything, which means that your kids are following your lead and they are also not able to help you out, right? Kids are helpful. They want to be helpful. They want to be useful. They want to please you. They want to not be a burden, right? But when you are living in a constant state of urgency, your kids are doing that as well. Okay, one of the things that you guys comment a lot on is like, wow, like my kids would never play like that, right? And my kids didn't used to. It didn't used to be like that. They used to be destruction all the time, destruction and chaos, and me never being able to catch my breath because I had to be constantly vigilant and was living in a constant state of urgency of like, oh my God, they're going to destroy the place. They're going to get hurt, right? They are going to get into the knives. They are going to dump paint everywhere because I can't remember where I put it, or I can't keep track of anything because everything's everywhere. There's so much stuff to manage and I can't manage the people and the stuff. Like it's just too much, right? So when you are living in a state of urgency like that, your kids are going to follow that, right? And one of the things that I really want to stress to you in this challenge, and if you get into the Motherhood Simplified course, is not shifting the blame onto your kids. It's taking ownership of your role as a mom, right? I never want to give parenting advice, which is why when people are like, how do I make my kids clean up? How do I make my kids do chores? How do I make my kids not do, throw fits or tantrums or whatever? I will never give you parenting advice. I will never give you tips and tricks on how to manage your kids. What I will give you is something that I think is better, and that is self-awareness and personal accountability and ownership of your role in their life, right? And ownership of the energy that you bring to the table in your home, right? The energy that you bring into your home, basically. Because your role as a mother is the role of a leader, right? And as a leader, you have to master your time. You have to master your energy. You have to master your priorities. You have to master, which we're going to talk about later on in the challenge, you have to master your sense of urgency and what you're focusing on and what you're not focusing on. So a lot of times living in clutter forces us to live in a constant state of urgency, a constant state of managing things, a constant state of distraction from the things that are actually important to us. Okay. Now, the things that are important to us can also be urgent. Okay. And I think that they should be urgent. I think the things that are most important to us should be the most urgent, but we get caught in these cycles of living in clutter and chaos and overwhelming amounts of debt and stress that we can't do that. Okay, so for today, let me pause this real quick to go get my paper because I want to show this to you what this looks like. So for today's challenge, I want you to get a piece of paper and I want you to write, this is probably going to be backwards, okay guys, just use your imagination. On one side, write important, and on the other side, write urgent. Okay, I want you to write down all of the things in your life that are urgent, the things that are immediately taking up the bulk of your time. Okay, cleaning up messes, doing dishes, getting caught up on laundry, cleaning up after the kids all day long, making dinner, giving them baths, taking them to and from school, refereeing fights, right? All of these things that are very, very urgent over here. Now put the things that are very important to you over here, okay? And it doesn't matter how many things are on your list or, you know, if it's balanced or whatnot, but things that are important to you, your physical health, working out. The things that are important are likely things that matter a lot to you, but because you have so many things on your urgent list, you're not able to get to the important things, right? You're too busy doing dishes, cleaning, trying to find organizational systems, sorting through bins and too many toys over and over and over again for the rest of your life to get to these important things, like spending uninterrupted quality time with your kids individually, or exercising for 30 minutes a day, or having the time to prepare nutritious meals for your family, or whatever it is for you. Okay, that's my list. Those are the things. Now, the things on your urgent list, go through it and decide, are these things important to me or are they not? Is it important to me to spend all of my time being stressed out by laundry? No, right? So start crossing things off of your urgent list to make room for the things that are important to you. Okay, like we talked about at the beginning of this challenge, you're not going to be able to get 48 hours into 24 hours, but what you can do is start to eliminate the things that are not important to you anymore and start making room and time and energy for the things that are important to you. So that is your challenge for today. Go ahead and post it into the group, tag me on Instagram, send me a message, put in the comments, whatever it is for you. If this was helpful, if you need more help with it, if it's helping shift your perspective, if it's inspiring you to make changes for yourself, let me know. If you want to do this even more with me, if you really want more hands-on, tangible, step-by-step support and advice from me, get into the Motherhood Simplified course. You get instant access for life, and it will be the best decision ever in your motherhood because I break it all down for you. This challenge is good. If you're loving this challenge, the course is this times 100 and you're going to love it. So share your posts, share your answers, be honest with yourself, dig deep and do it. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the next day. Bye.